Halloween is a holiday that is supposed to honor and celebrate ghosts and horror. And in today's episode, we shall meet the spirit of Halloween, who is like Santa in Christmas or the Easter Bunny on Easter. This film revolved around Halloween and Christmas. We shall see the characters who featured in the show and the beautiful people responsible for their voices. Without further introductions, let's get into it. First, let's see the main spirit of Halloween called Jack Skellington, who was portrayed as a living skeleton and was an immortal being who could move parts of his body at will. He was known to be very patient and graceful, and always thought of everyone during Halloween. He was like the final boss of the holiday, and even the mayor of the town knew that he was the alpha. Even so, Jack never lost his temper in the show, and was deemed to be so calm-headed. A being voiced by Danny Elfman, who was an American film composer and a writer of songs and poems, and was very famous in the 80s when the band called Oingo Boingo was in hits. Sally was a ragdoll monster from Halloween Town, and was a very intelligent and inconspicuous woman. She really liked Jack Skellington, and was known to be very independent too. In addition to that, she was also so kind to others and honest to every little deed. Her ambitions were high, and due to her clever sense of side, she was always intrigued by the wonders of the outside world. Her main hobby was needlework, in which she was an expert. Even Jack once told her to tailor a Santa suit for him. It was Catherine O'Hara who voiced the woman, and other than this movie, we can also remember her as Mom in Home Alone and also in Beetlejuice. Another character we saw was Locke, who we mainly saw trick-or-treating among two others. According to the movie, he was like 6 years old, and was from the species of the devil. This boy was easily offended, especially by his friends, and as a kid, he was seen to be so hyperactive too. In most of the film, he behaved exactly like how you'd expect a 6-year-old to behave. He was voiced by the mighty Paul Reubens, who was an American actor and comedian, and was really known back in the 70s for his improvisational comedy. It was such a huge loss on July 30th last year when we lost this legend from cancer. He will always be remembered. Every town has a mayor, and in this one, we saw the mayor of Halloween, who was kind of like the head of the government. Despite being the mayor, he had very little authority in the town, and was seen to be below Jack's rule. That would have made very many mayors angry, but this one was different, as he was seen to be so harmless and a compassionate man. He worked with a sense of humor and really loved Halloween very much. A man named Glenn Shaddix voiced him, who was an American actor and comedian, who just like Catherine O'Hara, was also in the Beetlejuice movie playing the role of Otho Fenlock. Sadly, he waved us goodbye early September 2010 from injuries he got when he accidentally fell at his condominium in Alabama and passed away from blunt trauma to his head. Oogie Boogie, as his name suggests, was a boogeyman who lived on the outskirts of Halloween Town. He was so feared by the locals due to claims of him eating others and scaring others away. Everyone knew him as the scariest guy around, which he actually liked. He also loved gambling even though he was not good at it, which led him to cheat in most of the games he played. The iconic Kenneth Page voiced the villain, and just a few months ago, he sadly passed away at a lovely age of 70, and his cause of death was ruled out to be quote-unquote, dying in his sleep. There was a certain devil, whose name was Devlin, who was also a citizen of Halloween Town. He appeared to have horns and a barbed tail, with sharp teeth and a pointy nose. He was seen to act sneaky, and as the devil, he had a sinister voice. Nevertheless, he loved singing just like everyone else, even though he had that demonic look. He was voiced by Greg Proops, who is an American actor, a stand-up comedian, and recently has now been doing jobs as a television host in United States and the UK. Dr. Finkelstein was another villain of the show, who was always bound on his wheelchair in Halloween Town. He was a mad scientist with a very pale skin and a duck-like mouth, and was the one who actually created Sally. Unlike Dr. Frankenstein, Finkelstein did not dispose off his creations, as was seen when he created Sally and became more of a father figure to her. Even with his antagonistic nature, he was extremely friendly towards Jack and was always seen trying to assist him. It was the legendary William Hickey who voiced him, a man who was an American actor known best for rolling Don Corrado Prizzi in the film called Prizzi's Honor. Born on September 1927, he sadly passed away 69 years later from sudden complications of acute bronchitis. There was a zombie kid who was better known as the Corpse Kid, who also lived in Halloween Town. He was very close to Jack, and was seen sometimes hanging out with him. His real name was Ethan, but was mostly referred to as the Corpse Kid because he came from the zombie family. His father was known as Ned and mom was Bertha. This boy was voiced by Debbie Durst, who is a woman that is an American actress. Some higher mentions who were also in the show include the Undersea Gal, who was a female sea creature and a citizen in Halloween Town, and was seen in the show helping others prepare for Christmas, voiced by Carmen Twilly, and another character called Igor, who was nothing else in the movie other than the assistant to Dr. Finkelstein. He was voiced by Joe Ranft, who was an American animator and screenwriter who worked for both Pixar Animation Studios and Walt Disney Animation Studios, who sadly passed away on August 16, 2005 from a car accident at an early age of 45. Thank you for watching the episode of today, and I hope to catch you in the next. Adios.